All right. Uh, Welcome to week 12. I didn't prepare a script today, so fuck it. We're doing it live. Um, I went around the league today and I asked all the coaches little something something about their team. Uh, so I will be mixing in some quotes somehow. Not really sure how, but let's start. Fuck it. Chumba lost again. What a fucking dick. Uh, John finally, coming alive at the end of the year. I asked John what's it like that his team's finally playing now that he's out of playoff contention. He says he knows the season is long and challenging, not just physical and mental. He says that he's still studying film, getting ready for next week against the number one team. But he's really excited for next week. He's going up against the number one team in the West, Trubiscuits and Gravy, and he's hoping that he might ruin a playoff dream for them. So good for John, I guess. I asked Chumba similarly. I said, it's fair to say that he's the most disappointing team in the league this year. Uh, he had the number one pick. He was pretty high ranked coming into the year. He's dead last in not only rankings but points scored as well. So it's been a real disappointing year so far. I asked Chumbo what happened, like what's going on, and he said, "I would agree, but I'm gonna get drinks with Angelica tomorrow." So I don't really know what the fuck that means in terms of fantasy football, but good for Chumba, I guess. He's just gonna get dragged along for a little while, I think. Again, I guess we'll see what happens. Um, Next, we go into fuck. Who's next? Griff. Team Wallach took care of the Seattle Sucker Punchers this week, scoring 143 points, beating Alec by 20 points. Well done. I asked Griff. He's the only team that has a shot in the playoffs, but doesn't really have control over his own fate. He's only playing teams out in the West. Can't really affect the standings on his side of the division. So I asked him, what's it like with what expectations does he have going forward, knowing that he can't really change what happens regardless. He says he's only going to work on the things that he control. He's not going to worry about the things that he can't control. He's hoping that he gets Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase back in the mix, but if not, he's confident in his backups to do the job, and he's hoping that the massage master helps his team out in the playoff push, coming back from his suspension. Um, so we'll see what that does for his team. Um, as for Alec, coming off a tough loss, I asked him, he's stuck in a three-way tie that he's currently last in because he has scored the least amount of points. Um, what is he hoping to turn around in the last 2 weeks? Um, he says it hurt a lot not having Kyler playing for his team, and he left a lot of points on his bench. And he won't have three important starters this week, so he's hurting a little bit, and he's just hoping that his boys pull through. So best of luck to the Sucker Punchers. Honestly, in my opinion, the best name of the year. Uh, Next, who do we have next? Shit. Uh, let's see. We will go to the Barclays Thunder Thighs, who took care of Upstate New York Sucks this week. 139 to 120. Well done. Easy win. Um, Going into the playoff race, Barclays Thunder Thighs are a bit of an underdog. They have the longest shot to make the playoffs currently. And while they're not completely out, they do need some help from some other teams. So I asked Coach Cramsey what is he really what is his message for the team as he tries to sneak into the playoffs. He said other teams might think that they're underdogs, but he's been performing well all year. Him and his players feels confident about their chances. Just got to keep doing what they're doing and hope that everything falls into place and not worry about what's going on in the other games. Uh, as for Coach Donlin, uh, teams out of the playoff race can't really affect the standings going forward at all. Nobody that he plays is really in for um, playoff contention. So I asked him what is the mindset in the locker room for the rest of the year, the two games that they have left, knowing that they can't really affect anything. And this is a real professional move from Connor, Coach Donlin, after seeing what you know, what's his face, Wilson on the Jets. Can't remember his first name right now, but who gives a shit? Um, this is a real professional move. Coach Donlin said he's got to be better. He's got to prepare better, work harder for his guys, got them, help them train better, got to practice better. The guys in his locker room are fighters, and he feels like he let them down. But he's not going to let them just roll over and give up the last 2 weeks. They're going to come and they're going to fight. So really love that answer. Really professional, mature answer from a real, veteran guy in the league. So great to see that. Who do we have left? Oh fuck, fucking regular normal SpongeBob. Coach Cuniff. You know, it's been a real shock that Trubiscuits and Gravy has been the number one team in the West and probably gonna clinch a playoff spot. Been kind of frustrating for some of us because fucking Jimmy. Must I say more? So I asked him, how was he able to pull this off? Being Jimmy. He said the big thing for us has been believing in the guys that he has in the locker room. At the beginning of the season, they believed that they could pull it off and be one of the top teams. Nobody else did, so good for him, I guess. Couldn't be more happy with the season that they've had already and looking forward to see how they can shake things up in the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, Jimmy, there's still a chance you don't get in, so let's pump the fucking brakes, all right? But, Trubisky and Gravy did lose to the draft no whites, who, again, just big question mark on how this team came out and have done what they've done. Did I not screenshot his answers? Oh, no, here it is. I forgot you had an iPhone now, Justin. So I asked, Coach Runge, has this season been frustrating since he's been playing so well, but his team still has not clinched a playoff spot with 2 weeks in the season left? He says he's not really stressed about it. He's clawed his way from last to first, and he's just going to stay the course and hope to pull off a miracle. I just got to say hats off to this guy. Been pulling off the same draft strategy for years now, and while everyone called him an idiot and said it's never going to work, he stayed the course. I gotta tip my hat to this guy. I think it's like the fourth time I've been in fantasy with him. He always, same thing, no whites, doesn't allow it on his team. Finally paying off. Gotta give him credit for staying the course. That was the matchup of the week. The two first place teams, Runge came out on top. The draft no whites over the Trubiscuits and Gravies. 134 to 113. Not really that competitive. Jimmy, step your game up, dude. Playoffs are coming. Come on. Into the last matchup in the week. It was myself, 4-string cheerleader, versus Team Sternly. Not gonna lie, this one hurt. Knocked me out of playoff contention. If you take out Josh Jacobs' 86-yard touchdown run in overtime, a 14-point play, take that out, I win the game. I win the game by a point. So, fuck Josh Jacobs. I don't really give a shit. But don't tell him, because I'm probably going to draft him next year. It's just going to happen, I have a feeling. So, fuck him until next year when I somehow end up with him. So, 48.3 points. Fucked me over. How do you get two possessions in overtime? How do you get stopped, the other team gets the ball, and you get it back? When the fuck does that happen? When? Fuck off. Not to mention, of the fucking top 15 scorers in the league this week, I had 4 of them, and I still fucking lose the game? Fuck off, Josh Jacobs. So I asked Coach Stern, I said, boys have been cooking of late. They've been scoring a lot of points. And he still also has not clinched a playoff spot. Had to claw back. He had a tough start to the season. So I asked him, how has it been after a rough start to the season? Now that he's being one of the top teams, what's it like? Coach Stern, real professional answer here as well. He's trusted his guys. Knew he had a talent in the locker room, despite the rough start, and just continued to play his style of football. Played to his players' strengths. Results are finally starting to show, and he's really proud of how they're coming together. This was a little shocking, though. He really wanted to say, fuck Alec in particular. Wasn't really sure why. Totally random, unprompted. He said, quote, also, fuck Alec in particular. Shut up, headphones. So, I asked him, I said, what's with the outcry towards another manager, completely unprompted? Going all the way back to week 10, where Alec beat Team Sterling, by a half point. Um, you know, I thought the beginning of the answer was really professional. However, this is kind of an unprofessional move from Coach Sternly. Coach Stern, sorry. Didn't really see that coming. Really out of left field. Uh, I hope that he gets the help he needs. But he's coaching his ass off, so I gotta tip my cap to him. Still have 6 teams in playoff contention. We now have 4 eliminated. Myself, Upstate New York Sucks, Team Cornobus, and the Troy Troglodytes are all out of playoff contention. The 6 of you, good luck. Still nobody has clinched a single spot with 2 weeks to go. I have a feeling, I gotta imagine that someone clinches this week. But if not, that last week's going to be real interesting. So, good luck to everybody. It's going to be a real interesting last couple of weeks. Oh, I got to pick a fucking game of the week. Hold on. Pause. Game of the week. Fuck. I'm going to give it to Team Sternly going against the Draft No Whites. Sternly coming off a couple of hot games. They're on a, 2-game winning streak ever since that half-point loss, but they've been putting up a lot of points going up against the number 1 team in the division. Again, this could be first round of the playoffs. Who knows? So this is going to be a real interesting matchup. 2 powerhouses going head-to-head. So good luck to everybody in Week 13. We'll see what happens, and I will catch y'all next week.